So here we go on another adventure. It's the next day after yesterday's long walk. I got to do another one today. I'm actually going to take a bus instead. But it's still very warm and humid, although the sky isn't so clear. It's a bit overcast. So what am I doing? Well, I've got another hospital appointment. This time the other end of town, believe it or not. And so basically I just missed one bus because it was early. Now buses are normally late, especially in Shrewsbury, but for some reason this one was a minute early and I wasn't expecting it. I was stood at the bus stop fiddling around with my bag. I looked up and it went straight past me. So not impressed. Yes, half the Arriva fleet in Shrewsbury are leaving or going or being disbanded, and a new bus company is coming to take over. I think it's D&G or something like that. They're from Stoke-on-Trent. I don't know if they'll be any better, any more on time, or any cheaper. We'll find out. But be interesting. The only one thing I will say is that your all-day locals that you get with Arriva, which you've got today to save money, won't be as functional, will they? Because half the fleet is going. So that means, so if I want to get to one part of town to another, that means I'm going to have to basically buy two separate tickets and not get an all-day local. Bit of a pain, really, unless Shropshire Council come up with a Shrewsbury all-day local that covers all the bus companies that run the buses around Shrewsbury. I don't know. Anyway, that remains to be seen. Yeah, it's a warm one again. Certainly feel it. Although the sun isn't baking me as normal. But this is one of my daily vlogs. What am I doing today? Going for another hospital appointment. Well, medical appointment. Well, that's a bit better than yesterday, wasn't it? Yesterday it was like over 130 something, which wasn't good, and I was feeling it, but it's not as hot today, but probably not far as humid. You can still feel the sweat starting to drip off me, but that's the British weather, isn't it? Yesterday it was a little more dry. You can feel the humidity in the air today. It's kind of sucking it out of you. But anyway, let's see which direction I'm heading. So yeah, just walking down towards the town centre. Pretty pink vintage van. And some guy doing some work here. No, we're not in New Zealand. We are not in New Zealand. We are in England. Police station is meant to be going down that way, but then again, there's some nice old Tudor buildings. And an old Tudor post office. They still put their flowers up around town in August. We don't have a flower show anymore. It's Shrewsbury Abbey, and a very old abbey it is and all. And that is an old railway station right there. And you can kind of look, if you look straight down there, you can see where the platform would have been. Abbey Foregate railway station only had one platform. Someone turning in, best jog on quickly. So yeah, sweating what's it a bit today. The whole hair's thickened out a bit at the front. Probably need a bit of a trim, don't I? And the beard isn't doing much better anyway. But hey ho, I don't care. I'm not one of those person who does care too much anymore. Maybe because I'm slightly mad. Maybe. Anyway, coming up to the railway bridge now. Yeah, that bridge right there is a railway bridge for the Marches line from Cardiff to Manchester and the Heart of Wales line from Shrewsbury to Swansea. Yes, your gateway to Wales is here on this bridge, and then there's a load of arches, look. So here is an area that has been cleared out. Used to be just a place where people dumped stuff, wedged in between this building and the railway line. Now, I don't know what's going there, but hopefully it'll be better than it is. Tree roots, trees, rubbish. Anyway, it's good to see. So yes, walking along, hoping to get a bus, but I've missed two already. Great. I might as well walk to the bus station anyway. Hopefully I can I make my appointment. But the buses are useless. They really are. They really are utterly useless in this town. Used to be a decent bus service. Used to have 4 an hour every 15 minutes going from virtually by my door. Now you don't even know if one's going to turn up an hour, and it's one an hour. All that within 10 years. Ambulance going, well, fire engine, sorry, going past. Oh, I don't know. Find the quickest way to the bus station. Getting rather fed up with the public transport, to be honest. Really is crap. That's the way it goes when your town's run by selfish millionaires. So there it is, the wonderful River Severn, the longest river in the UK. Gently flows through this town, well, around it actually. Right, have a little walk down here, shall we? So sometimes a river can flow as high as, well, I don't know whether it's been that high before, but I think someone made a mark it was there not long ago. I don't know. Anyway, I'll walk along it. May as well. It's a little bit overgrown with nettles, isn't it? The English Bridge, that bridge is called. So of course there used to be a famous football stadium. The home of Shrewsbury Town Football Club. Not there now, of course. They're on the outskirts of town in a brand new, well, should I say a 20-year-old purpose-built stadium, but the stadium that was there was called the Gay Meadow. When it was built, the word gay didn't mean what it means today, so don't get any ideas. It wasn't like that. It meant happy. Maybe they should have just called it Happy Meadow. They wouldn't have got stick for it, would they? But anyway, going to widescreen, flies just got in my eye. Typical. Another railway bridge along there. Some ducks. So yeah, it's a nice little scenic walk up along here. I enjoy it anyway on a day like today. So yeah, there was a football stadium once upon a time along there. 20 years ago, they knocked it down. Well, it'll be 20 years ago next year actually. And I have fond memories of going there, winning the 3rd Division Championship in 1994. Of course, it's long gone now. I do attend the new stadium. I like my local football. I also enjoy travelling by train. And up ahead we have another train railway bridge crossing. You can hear a hum in the distance, maybe, of a train on that bridge. But I'm not going to be crossing that bridge now. I'm heading up a lane called St Mary's Water Lane. Some nice apartments overlooking the river. I always get bikes along here. So yeah, this is St Mary's Water Lane. More bikes coming from behind. And it's a bit of a steep hill to climb. This will get my BPM up a bit, climbing up here. But it's a steep one. But I think it's a shortcut. Something hums down here. Sewage, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Feeling it now. It's the humidity. And trying to talk as well at the same time, I guess. You've got to catch one's breath. Plus, I'm nearly 50, by the way. So, in several months' time. So, I'm not a young spring chicken no more. Yeah, I shouldn't be taking time to make these videos. I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time, do I? So, here in town, I think it's cut a slight corner off for me. So yeah, you come out here. So I go through H&M. They might tell me off for using the camera in there, so best I hadn't. But I'll cross the road, and yeah, this is a town. Well, just down there is a town centre, pedestrianised. I'm going to take a shortcut through here into one of the shopping centres. Catch you in a bit. So we are going down the escalator into the bus station. Don't think I'm going to get told off. Well, I don't really care really, but it's just avoiding the hassle. You must leave, or else we'll throw you out, type of coon. So ain't going to do that. So here I am at the bus station. It's not looking. Let's go 25, but I'll do. I can walk across, I guess. I'll get Tesco 25. Yeah, that's the one, Tesco 25. So yeah, I'm on the bus. And yeah, as I said, nightmare trying to catch them in going into town. Once you're in town, there's plenty. Heading in the right direction, going past the flash. So yeah. So you couldn't see much of it there really, what I showed, but it is, in theory, the world's first skyscraper.
Next stop, Couch Public House.
And we got some thugs on the bus as well behind me, mouthing and giving it the big one. Only young ones, but annoying. Oof. So I'm glad to be off that bus. It was doing my nutting a bit, and it was hotter on there. It was like a sardine tin, not full of people, but it just felt a bit heavy and too hot, too humid. No aircon on that bus. So here I am, walking down a street in Sunderland. So yeah, a typical 1920s, 1930s street here in England. So yeah, this is my journey in life. Like everybody has its ups and downs, and certainly had some downs in recent times, but it is what it is. And today, well, I get my my mental health checked out. Okay, it's not serious, but serious enough just to cause me worries and problems. And so talking therapies, they call it. I virtually talk about issues to people anyway, so what difference it's going to make, I don't know. What they're going to do for me, I don't know. The pressures of life for everybody. Mine's obviously not as bad as a heck of a lot of people's, but it's still bad enough to affect me daily, and it's still worse than a heck of a lot of people's. Was it any better or worse than anybody else's? Not really. Well, probably better than most, but it's how you deal with it, isn't it? And when you go through a lot, some people don't go through anything, do they? But when you go through a lot of different things, it can affect you. And yeah, I've been finding several different issues I have from all different directions very difficult to deal with. But there's always somebody else worse off. That's what I always think. It could be worse, but it could be better. And if I can make it better, then that's exactly what I intend to do, is make it better. Because if I don't, it could get worse. And it will get worse at some point, as it does for everybody. So, it's my intention to make things a bit better for myself. I've had a few points in there before. Quite a few years back now. For obvious reasons, I can no longer drink alcohol. Because, let's say it doesn't do my stomach any good. And probably wouldn't do my liver too much good either. So I keep away from that. And the liver problem, it's a slight one, but it's actually nothing to do with drinking, believe it or not. Nothing to do with alcohol at all. More to do with genetics, perhaps. And maybe bacon, sausages and burgers didn't used to help, although I wasn't overly eating them. I did like the odd burger and the odd full English breakfast, which I no longer do. In fact, the last full English breakfast I had was probably back right at the very beginning of the year, back in January, and we're now in August. So that tells you where I'm at. Anyway, I seem to have arrived at my destination, I think. Or is it round the corner? It's somewhere around the corner. And I'll let you know how I get on when I leave. So yeah, back on the bus. Back on another bus. And heading back to town. Being a bit tired and exhausted from that session with the mental health team, the talking therapies, answering questions with the numbers of 0 to 4. How are you feeling today on a scale of 0 to 4? With 4 being the worst. I just had one. Anyway, yeah, heading back into town on the coach. Oh, a bus. It's not a coach, it's a bus. Feel a bit sleepy now. Tired. A lot of walking. A lot of travelling around. And I've done some shopping. I did a food shop as well before coming back home. So yeah, it's going to be low fat steak mince. Seem to be okay with that. And just add some mild spices and make a mild burrito. Garlic and onion free and tomato free. Bloody traffic. Stuck here for like 5 minutes now. Oh, wait up, we're moving. We're moving. How far forward? About 2 feet. Great. That's a load of crap because there isn't an O in it anyway, and there hasn't been for about 500 years. It's an E, so it's pronounced Shrewsbury because it's an E. Here's the culprit. Just up ahead. You can see the culprit why the traffic is so bad and worse than it ever has been. They created this monstrosity of a cycle lane and took a lane of traffic out of the town centre, well, leading into the town centre, and it just bottlenecks everything. And some fool ticked it off and said, yeah, that's a good idea. And it cost about, I don't know, a few million to make it. And now it's going to cost a few million to correct it. Been stuck in this bottleneck for about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, maybe 15 now. And here we go. The culprit for Shrewsbury's terrible traffic going into town. A cycle lane that never gets used. And we've stopped again. It's utterly ridiculous. Millions wasted. And I hope whoever decided the fate of this road that came to the decision to allow this to happen, I hope they're sacked and never get a job implementing road designs ever again. The guy who, or person should I say, because I don't know if it was male or female, that allowed this to be implemented on this stretch of road is an absolute idiot, and it's wasted all our money. Wasted your money and my money, and no wonder the country's in debt. Because they employ people who aren't fit for purpose. Still waiting. I mean, if I'd have got out at the bus stop back down there, I'd have saved 15 minutes off my journey, but maybe 20 now. That's a mess. And they're ooh and they are about what they're going to do with it. Absolutely insane. Oh, and we're off for the green light. I don't know if anybody's actually, well, they've got scaffolding under here now. I don't know what they're doing there. But the most important thing is to repair and improvise this road back to a 2-lane traffic, because they put a kind of cycle lane and then a bus stop sort of in between, and it was ridiculous. And as you can see, the whole thing is ridiculous. Somebody actually used their bike. How many people, that's the first person you've seen on a bike go past since I've been filming this little stretch? Yeah, I do like a good moan about things, and rightfully so. We should moan. When you've got fools making such rash decisions in high places. So it's not just the government that's a waste of time in this country. It's the local governments and the local councillors. They need to employ someone like me. I'd get the job done. I'd get things functioning and they'd be working. But, you know, I never went to university to qualify at being an idiot, did I? Because that's what it does. You know, you have to have a university degree, but that university degree makes you an idiot, because this is what you get going through the current education system, which can only be blamed on going back 30 years to Tony Blair. That's all. Education, education, education. And look what it did. It created fools. And while I just as a rant on about Tony Blair, we still haven't moved any further. About 20 metres in probably 25 minutes now. Nearly there. That's the railway station. Somebody carrying something on the side of the road there. Don't know what that is. It's not a sign. So if there's an emergency and you need to exit the bus after a crash or something, you twist to break the seal and strike the red button repeatedly. I'd be interested to see how that works, although I'm not going to do it, because it's going to cost a few £1,000 to replace, and I might end up in trouble doing it, but I'm sure it would tempt some youth of today into doing that now, wouldn't it? I wonder. But it's happened somewhere. And here we go. Coming up to the bus station. And there it is, the bus station. We did it. That's taken ages. So here I am at the bus station. Yeah. My next bus I've got to catch is in. So I don't have to walk all the way home. Not like earlier on today when I had to walk all the way here. Anyway. This is the bus station. And it's still here and there's no driver on it. And the time is, so it should have gone 10 minutes ago. So it should have gone 10 minutes ago, and it's the last bus going back on that route today. Not good enough, is it? Not good enough at all. Not a driver to be seen anywhere. Nobody around, no staff around to ask to see what's happening with the bus. And it's meant to be a bus station. As you can see, it's a busy bus station. There's loads of people waiting for the bus. Well, I find it unacceptable that there isn't anybody around to tell you where the driver is for this bus. There's no one to coordinate or complain to. There's just nobody here and people are just waiting. 15 minutes late now. And it's just lit up. Just an empty bus. So there's two drivers stuck out there, just smoking. Nobody inside to tell you where the buses are, why the buses are running late. There's no screens. It's just nothing here. Just people rolling about, and I don't know what to do now. I've got food that might go off in my bag if I stay out any longer in this heat. And that's my tea gone, isn't it? And my family's tea, so I'm gonna have to find another way home. So I'm gonna walk up here and I'm gonna attempt to get a later bus at about 10 past, or I'm gonna have to walk home again. Absolute nightmare waiting around there. These buses are getting worse. So yeah, walking through the shopping centre. Have a little around this. JD Sports, shoes there, God Victory Clarks, some thing. What was Claire's accessories? I think they've gone bankrupt with me. You look, and Pandora. So yeah, your basic high street stores and shops. HMV, fragrance shop. Watch repairs and Swatch. And if you want to, thank you for your visit. And next time you can bring your dog if you like. Yes, they let you bring your dogs into here. There's about 3 floors. That was just the top floor. So where are we? Town centre. So loads more shops going down that way. Loads more going that way as well. And yeah, plenty of pigeons. Lots of pigeons. They'll fly away if you run at them. But yeah, quite a big Greggs here. If you like your sausage rolls. Common sight in most town centres. A nail bar, Santander and a Subway. But yeah, St Mary's Church. Trying to get the wide view. There you go. There's the church. Bit of a blur on the screen. Try and get across the road without getting run over. Which way is she doing? I'm going to run quickly. And yeah, there's a slight blur. I don't know what time the last 17 is supposed to be. So it won't be Monday to Friday. 17, yeah. 6. So yeah, the last 17 it's meant to go at 4:36, but it hasn't. So yeah, 4:36. On my phone it says X10 is the bus to get. It says it goes from here. But when you look at the inside each bus shelter, there's no exact times for the X10. There's no times written down on the timetable. So that's another thing that they've got wrong, and it's kind of confusing whether it runs from here or not. But according to my phone, it does. So what is going on? It's absolutely awful. It's a disgrace. We'll have to see. Here we go. This is a 27 coming up then. So 27's running. 17 I don't think ran at all. I don't think it did. So I got on the bus and it's a 437 to Broseley, rather than it came before the X10, which was delayed. Well, thankfully I'm only going as far as Shrewsbury College, but if I'd have got the 17 an hour ago, I'd have been home and eating my tea by now. But that's the way it is. 17 didn't turn up, the last one. There might be a few people stranded, especially the poor disabled guy that was in the wheelchair. Well, that's how it goes, I guess. And yeah, Shropshire Council really does need to pull its finger out with the bus services and the road conditions, and it's in a bad way at the moment. But yeah, I thought get X10. X10 is not even listed on the bus timetables that are in the shelters, but it was on my phone on Google. And I was talking to a lady that was getting the X10, and then I saw 437 Broseley, and I asked her, "Does that stop at the college?" And she said yes. So, well, Ebenall Road anyway. So the driver said so. Yeah, 437 is the bus I've got on, and it's been a nightmare, to be honest, trying to use these buses today. An absolute nightmare. And I'll be glad to get in, get a cup of tea on the go, although a decaf for health reasons, and have some tea, some spice-free burritos. Well, tacos or burritos, either way. That's what I gotta do. So we're just approaching the Shire Hall. I attempted to catch the second bus into town today. Speaking of Shropshire Council, that was it, the headquarters of Shropshire Council, but it's now completely derelict and empty. So that just tells you how bad things are right now. and it's scheduled probably for demolition at some point in the future. So yeah. Well, still got money to spend on that Lord Hill's column, haven't we? Anyway, oh, I'd love a pint, but I'm just not allowed to anymore. Stressful day. So yeah, I'm coming up to my stop. I'm going to have about a 5-10 minute walk to my house from there, which is better than having to walk all the way from town. But if I'd have walked it, I'd have been home by now. So that just tells you how reliable and how good the current bus services is provided by Shropshire Council and Aviva at the moment. And the bus goes off into the distance. Oh, oh look, this could be 17 now. It's now 40 something minutes later, and I think this is 17. This will be hilarious if it is. Absolutely hilarious. Because if I'd have waited around, well, I've beaten it anyway, probably to the bus stop by using other buses. Here it comes, 17. Wonderful. Is it turning in? Well, there it is. Time actually is 17:24. That bus was meant to leave at 16:35. So either the timetables have changed or it's 50 minutes late. But the one at 4:35 was meant to be the last one. Anyway, like and subscribe if you want to hear me moan some more about things and talk absolute nonsense. See you all in the next one.